and trying to. Hi, everyone. Thank you for attending on such short notice again. I don't know. I'm just, I can't decide when is the right time for everyone. I just decided to pick the same time. Today, I'm going to talk about components, and it's a little more advanced than the previous training. So it's required that you attended the first one or watched the video of the first training. So let me start. So that's the prereq. I'm sharing the link just in case you didn't watch the first training. So what are the components? Components are visual building blocks, and it looks like this. Okay, this is body. This is not component. This goes in the body text, but now we're able to build pages with more visual elements like these. So each of these are components. These are icon components. This is a horizontal CTA. That's like a vertical CTA, but it's called stacked card. Stack means the image, the text, the buttons, they're stacked together. This is just another horizontal CTA. So these are components. And it's also included in the training manual provided by our vendor. Page 23. So if you need like a manual, you can take a look at that. So everything below Latin text is made of components on this page. Okay, so what we saw on the web page are nice 3 columns of CTAs. Has an image, has a title, has some text, and a button. CTA means calls to action, kind of telling you to click on the buttons. Can be read more, it can be register, can also be, buy. And those are CTAs. It's calling for an action. So that's what we see. And behind the scene looks like this. There's a grid. Grid is a component type. And you can see the 3 CTAs are nested within the grid. So whenever we need 2 or more columns, we should first create a grid. Grid is also a component, although it's just, used to create columns. Also, you can set number of columns here, and you can set the background color. This time it does not have a background color, so it's set to none. Okay, so we will now demo how to create a CTA like that. So we will create this. So I'll go to Manage, Content, Add Content, Basic Page. Okay, ignore this message. It means we need an update. I will put a title, test, component page by song. And I'll pick an editorial group. These are prereq. Okay, this is my first attempt at component. It's always a good idea to leave a log message because it tells you what you did. Like every time you save, it saves a copy, and you can identify which copy is which when you leave a log message. Okay, so we will go down to very bottom and you will see components. And first we have to create a grid because it was 3 columns. And we should pick a title. That sounds like a good title. It's always good idea to indicate that it's component. So I will say grid 3 columns. That's a good title because later on when you create a hyperlink inside the content, it shows up like this. And if you name it without the component name, it can be confusing with regular content. So it's always good to indicate in the title that it's component. So I start with grid. Okay, so number of columns should be 3. Did not have a background color. So we said we want 3 CTAs nested. So grid items should be CTA, add new node. Node just means a piece of content, it's a jargon. Okay, so the first is CTA for component. And this is a title, so yes, we do need to display the title. Display title. This should be the title. Title, heading style. You should leave it as H2 for now. I can explain later. And stacked card style is correct because horizontal is, not image, the text, the buttons are stacked together, so we should pick the stack. Background color was none. Main image. I'll just pick a random image. And I'll copy the body text from here. Okay, I'll just link to the home page for this one. Add another item is for more buttons like these. It doesn't add more CTA. So this time we click on create node instead of add another item. So that's it for the first column. And we'll create another one. Display title, stacked card, correct. No background color. And just pick a random image and copy the body. And let's say we link to residential life just for the sake. That's how it works. It auto completes if you start typing. So this is why I said to name the components with the component name, because if you name it to general, it kind of shows up when you start typing. Okay, so that's a button. And this time I will add another item because it has 2 buttons. This time I will link it to registrar just to show how this button works. Okay, there's too many competing suggestions, so I'll do something else. Commencement. Let's create node. So that's second CTA, and there was a third one. I'll create another one. Add new node. CTA with image display title. Leave everything alone. Pick an image. I'll copy this text. And I'll just link it to front. Here's the home page. And that's it. I will save and I'll just publish. There it is. It's just different images, but same thing. I created a grid with 3 CTAs nested inside. Okay. So that covers this slide. So it's
Son?
Hi.
Hi. I have a question.
Okay.
In creating the CTAs, I see a lot of images that you pull in. I see some faces I recognize. Are those all pictures in stock available to us?
Yes. It's uploaded by AJ and John. John?
Okay. If we requested any photo, could we, in other words, can we request a photo? Like, let's say I'm working on a lobby project and I want to do, this is a before picture.
I think you can ask AJ or John in my department.
Okay, I'm not familiar with AJ, so.
I
John.
can put his name in the chat. Let's see, where's the chat?
Yeah, if you send a request in, I'll go through the archives and see what we can find for you or what we have on hand. That shouldn't be a problem with uploading it into the media directory.
Great.
Okay, so that's why you request. Okay.
Okay, that's good. The second part of my question is, once we've done this work, saved it, before it hits the web page, is there an editorial, publishing and marketing review, and then comment period in case there are other constituents?
Okay. It's covered in the first training. Well, that's not it. So they're editors and publishers, and I believe looking for that. Editorial groups. And I believe you are in business and finance, right? You're here, and your publishers are Mr. Len Davis and Randy. So I recorded about the editorial process on a whole separate training. I just did it with John and AJ, but I will upload it to YouTube and share it. There's a whole separate training. It's about 30 minutes about how editor creates and edits content and submits it for review, and the publishers can publish. So you can't directly publish like I just did. Did I answer your question?
Yes. And if you'll bear with me, the content that we currently have,
Mm-hmm.
let's say we just want to grab pieces of that and build upon it. How do we do that? Or is this a whole new ground up?
If you watch today's training, you will be able to build just like this.
So it's ground up.
Yes.
Start from zero. No
It's already built by the vendor, and all you need to do is pick the right component and just write the text, pick the
Sure.
right picture.
Sure.
So
The structure is there. The content.
Yes, the content is our responsibility. The structure is already there. So we just went over how to build 3-column CTAs. So the next thing we will build is icons. And again, we're using a grid to create 2 columns. And icons are nested within that grid. And grid can have properties like number of columns, background color. This time it's like gray because it has a gray background. And full bleed background color means it takes the whole width of the website. So it's right here. And we're going to mimic this in our new page. We'll go to edit, and components are below the body. So it's like below body and above the save button. Again, we need a grid, and name the grid. I like to start with grid 2-column and icons for component demo. So like right now, you may not want to spend the time to give it a meaningful title, but when you have like 10 of them stacked together, then you will be glad that you gave it a meaningful name. So I'm not going to display the title, and I'll choose 2 for number of columns. I'll give it a gray background, and I'll choose full bleed. That's what's in the example here. And create items that needs to be nested are 2 icons. Title should be icon 1. And I will not display the title. Just, okay, let's see. This, I think, is user. you have to type here. And I found it. That's sort of autocomplete widget. And link should be, for now, I'll just link to homepage. Copy the body. I'm just trying to copy this text. Ah, it's not letting me. Here, my link text. Create node. Okay, that's my first icon, second icon. Okay, again, I have to type here, not here. It's a little confusing. Whoops. I just went back by mistake. I'm sorry. To start again. Whoops, I start with grid. I'm sorry, it went back. Grid to column icons, component demo. 2 column, light gray, full bleed, icon. User, font, homepage, some text, node, and I repeat icon 2. I'll just pick a random one. Front is homepage. Some text. Node. Node is just content. And I'll create node. And I'll save. There it is. So it looks the same, right? Just different icons, different text. Any questions? Okay. So I kind of outlined the steps in the slide in case you want to repeat by yourself. And I will just duplicate the whole component page. These are the full list of what's on that page, one by one. It's really easy, just like the only confusing thing would be when to identify when to use grid. Basically, grids you need whenever you need columns. So we did so far 3 column with 3 CTA, 2 column grid with 2 icons. So we're gonna go create the third component on this page, which is CTA, horizontal CTA with 2 buttons. Okay, so that, you may think it's 2 columns, but it's just 1 column. That's just how the component looks like. Okay, so we will go down and pick CTA. And we'll name it CTA horizontal component demo. I think this is the title, so we will have to display the title and leave it as is for now. And this time we've been using the stacked card style a lot, but this time we are going to horizontal angled card style image left. And background color was green. And let's see if I can actually find the same picture. Okay, we got it. Dorm. You can search by the file name or you can search by the tag. And I'll copy this text from here. There were 2 buttons. Just link to homepage. Add another item. Another item is for buttons, not a component. Okay, what should I link it to? I'll just link to homepage again. Okay, I'll create node. I'll save. There it is. So on this page, the next component is a grid with 2 stacked CTA. So the grid itself has no background color. We'll go back to edit. Go down, pick grid as the component type. Okay. Grid 2 column CTA for component 2 columns. And there was no background color for the grid. And first item was CTA. Just it's showing the title. I'm going to use this title, display title, and choose stacked card style. It was gray and was baseball players. Let's see if we can find the same image, baseball. I'm searching by athletics. Close enough. So that's kind of how you search for images. You can, this one searches for exact file name, like within the file name, and tags are, we tag images with different tags. And you can start typing and it will autocomplete. So for now, I'm just going to pick this image. Okay. And the text, I'll just copy and paste. So we're recording this, so if this gets too long, you can leave. Page. Okay, so that's, oh, it has another button, so we are going to have add another item. I keep linking to homepage because it's just easy. You can link it to pages within our website, or you can even link to external website. So we need another CTA. copy, display title, stacked card style, green, select images, just put random image, okay. Copy the text, create node, save. There's a 2-column grid with 2 stacked CTA. So let's go to the next one. This is a 1-column horizontal CTA. It's same as this, just a different background color. The image on the left. So it's just the image of map, not a real map component. So I'll just skip this because it's basically the same. Okay, this is CTA with no image and just the green background color. But notice there are 2 columns, means we need to use grid again. Go back to the edit page, add a grid. Grid, 2-column, CTA without image. It will not display the title. 2-column, green background, and we'll pick default because notice how it ends here, does not take up the whole. This one is taking the whole width, but this one has a margin here. So we'll pick default for that. And it has 2 CTAs within the grid. Display title, stacked card style, green background. Actually, I think the green is from the grid. So I'll leave this as none. Does it have to be green? I'll just pick green. Oh, did not have image, so we will not have image. Copy the text. There's so many buttons. It's important not to get confused. Another CTA with no image. Display title, stacked card style, background is green, no image. Copy the text, paste, URL front. And another item is for buttons, not the whole thing. So we're done here. And we'll click this and save. And it's there. Okay, the next one is slightly different. This is called gallery. We'll create that too. Has 2 sliders. It's basically like a CTA, but it's presented like a gallery. So go down, pick gallery. Okay, gallery, 2 slides, 4 component demo. I will not display the title. And this is the first slide. And I'll just write here is my title. Display title. And just pick an image. Okay. Here is some text. This is for buttons. That's first slide. Add new node to make another slide. Here is my second slide. Display title. Pick an image. Here is some text. Create node. Okay, that's my slide gallery. Create node. Save. And there is my gallery. Oh, let me see if I can correct this, that it's cropped like that. Go to media. And look for that image. Here it is. Go to edit. We always need to have an alternative text for accessibility reasons. And I will move, it's called focal point. It's a neat feature of new website. Let's see what that does. I fixed it. So that's called a focal point. Basically, you go to that image and change the focus of cropping so that the head stays when the photo gets cropped. I'll create a short video about this, maybe separate occasion. So we covered up to here. So we're halfway there.
Just a quick question. Are you going to be making like a library of the trainings?
Yes.
Thank you.
If you go to the website, on the top, there's online tools. And there's the first training here, so that you don't have to look for my emails in the inbox. I mean, we will have to eventually put it in a better spot, but it's there for now.
Very good. Thank you.
And the training manual from the vendor is here. It's a PDF. Looks like this.
Thought there was also something about like a style manual. It was either a
Yes,
link or
yes.
something.
Style guide. I just saved as shortcut in this is my account. So if you want to access this style guide is here. I'll put it in the chat.
Thank you. That's good.
Well, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so we're doing the gallery component. The next one is event calendar. Okay, this is a special case. Although it's displaying in 2 columns, it's just the one thing. It's called views container. Events. And I will not display the title. And I'll pick the third one. And create node. Save. Go to the bottom. Then there's the events. So events was a little different than the others because it uses this views as a list of content, basically. It's just behaves a little differently. Next one, I think it's free form. Let me see. 2 column grid with color and free form. Okay, next one will be free form in a grid. So it was 2 columns, 1, 2. So I will have to create a grid. And also it had background color, light gray, and it was taking up the whole width of the website. And there was 2 columns. So grid 2 column with free form. So this time the component is called free form. Free form is different than CTA. It's not calling for an action, so it's just some text, or it can have image, but you know, the only difference is that it's not calling for an action, which is usually like a button to get you to read more or register, things like that. So I'll copy this text, paste here. And there was no image. Layout is default. Create node. Another free form. Display title. Default. Create node. Create node. Okay, that was 2 column grid with 2 free forms. So that's easy. Just need to be able to identify when to use grid and when to use just CTA, you know. And this one is a free form with image on the right, and it has a white background. So we'll create that. Go back to the edit, go to the very bottom, pick free form. This will be the title. There's an image. And text. Layout is text on the left. Save. And there it is. I think the image was just smaller, but it's the same component, free form with image. So this is just, it gives you option to put the image on the right or left. So I will not repeat this one. It's the same as this, just different format. So the next component is tabs. We'll go back to edit page. Tabs. So again, it may look like two columns. It's just one tab component with two tabs. So it will be tabs, component. And this is tab 1. I will not put an image. Copy the text. Layout default, create node, add new node, tab 2, display title, copy the text. This time there's an image. And the style with the image on the right, or text on the left. Create node, save. And there's the tab. Okay, the next one is news. So news and events, these are list of content, so they require the views container. For now, I ask you that you don't use it if you don't know what you're doing. Views container. News component. Views block. Should be news. Articles. News. Homepage. Create node. Save. And there is the list of news. Any questions? Okay, so there are 3 map embeds here. I'll just do one because they must be similar, just the drop down will be different a little bit. Map embed, add new node. Map location. I'll just copy what's here. Usually you can find it in Google, this information. I think I need to display the title because the example is showing a title. And I'll copy this text. And layout. This one is text on the left. But you can see there are 3 options, and you can put text on the left, text on the right, or just take the whole width. With overlay, the text will go in the overlay, but for now we're going to do text on the left. Create node, save. And that's the map component. So we'll skip because they're the same, just a little different. Okay, facts. This one is a little different than others. Edit. I think it was fact block. So it's autocomplete. Just start typing and you will see. So the facts are little different than the others, where other ones we enter the content right away in these boxes, but facts need to be created first in order to be used. So that's a little different than the others. Save. Not sure what happened here. So facts have limited use. So for now, don't worry about it because actually we can use facts, and I forget why this happened. I will make a short video about doing this right. Right now I can think of how to make it behave. Okay, we're almost done. I think we can be done by 12 p.m. Contact form. So we're gonna add a contact form, and it's really easy. Just pick mini form. Contact. And that's it. Next component is link collection. Link collection. I'm just adding random stuff. Oh, I put link. I put it in the wrong field. Sorry about that. Save. That's the link collection. Takes you to homepage. Takes you to Google. That works. So I covered all the components on this page, and you don't have to always follow this page. You can have four CTAs, you know, you can choose different combination of background colors. There's more flexibility. You can have 5 tabs. So you have more freedom than what's just shown here. It's just an example. So we covered everything. How many of us are here? Well, we have 8. Thank you for attending. Any questions?
Sung, when can we view the video of this session?
This session?
Yeah.
It depends on how busy AJ is.
Oh, gotcha.
He needs to upload it for me. I'm gonna stop